Hi everybody, my name's Ellie and I'm here from the Student Union and I'm here to talk to you today about sustainability. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, mankind has been slowly poisoning the planet we live on. It's big news, you've probably heard of it. Second to COVID, it's probably the biggest thing that's happening in the world right now, and it affects everybody. The scary thing is, it affects people differently. The people in the world that have the least amount of impact are going to be the first ones to be affected by the climate crisis. Huge, big industries pump out tons and tons of carbon every year, burning fossil fuels, making things, production, distribution, consumption. We live in a consumerist world, and the biggest players are causing the biggest damage. But people who live sustainably, who live off what they can use, who don't consume much, they're going to be the first ones to be affected. It's really important when you live in the Western world to think about everybody else on this global community. It's one planet. We all live on it. We've all got to take responsibility. So what does the climate crisis even mean? What does it mean to students at Canterbury Christ Church University? Well, funnily enough, it probably won't affect you for a long time, but we cannot keep using that attitude. We can't think that 2050 is so long away. Yeah, we'll all be driving electric cars by then. The world will be fine. We'll fix it. We've got to take action now. We've got to make small steps. Every individual counts. Yes, big corporate businesses, they cause the most amount of carbon, but we all have a carbon footprint. We are all consuming things that produce CO2 in some way and are slowly destroying the atmosphere. Think about what you can do a little bit less to help. Take a look at the top 10 tips to reduce your carbon footprint. It's really simple. Make small changes. Eat less meat. Believe it or not, meat is a huge production of methane, which is one of the global greenhouse gases. Cows fart. That's what it is. That's what happens. If we use less meat, if we eat less of it, there's less cows farting in the atmosphere. It's better for the planet. Choose to reduce what you consume. Choose to recycle more. Choose to reuse things. Buy secondhand. Don't buy things at all. Reuse them, borrow them, recycle them, upcycle them. We don't need to continually consume more and more. Staff and students at Canterbury Christ Church University have a responsibility to protect the planet. But do you know what? It might affect students even more than it does staff. Because when you graduate from Christ Church, you are the ones that are going to be inheriting this planet that we live on. You guys are going to be the ones that are going to be making business decisions out there in the real world. It's the university's responsibility to educate its graduates. So not only do you leave here with a good degree, you also leave here morally and socially conscious. It's really important that you move into the industry that you're training for and that you take a stand, that you try and reduce the carbon footprint of the industry that you want to work in. We all have to make a difference. It's incredibly important. If there's one thing that you could do today to save the planet, use less. Reduce your impact. Stop buying things. Stop using things. Stop getting stuff wrapped in plastic. Don't get takeaway cups. Bring your own. Carry around a metal water bottle everywhere you go. It's amazing in hot weather. It keeps your water nice and cold. But just think about your impact. See litter? Pick it up. Put it in the appropriate bin. It's so important that we all play a part in keeping our world clean, but also stopping the production of carbon. We are destroying the world we live in. What is sustainability? Quite simply, it's about living smaller, having less of a destructive impact on the world that we've inherited. We don't own this planet. We're just borrowing it. We just happen to be one of the many species living on it. It doesn't belong to us. We have a duty to look after it. Did you know that the carbon footprint of a return first-class flight to Hong Kong from London is the same as the average UK person uses in an entire year? One return flight. And that's all the carbon that the average UK citizen produces in a whole year. Stop going abroad. Stop flying places. Travel less. Travel lightly. Choose public transport. Don't hop in your car all the time. Yeah, maybe we can't all afford to buy an electric vehicle, but just reduce your individual impact. And the best thing that students and staff can do? Influence others. Make other people understand the seriousness of the climate crisis. It is a crisis. We are destroying our planet. Help others to understand how important it is. We're a university. Our business is education. Help others around you make small changes in their life. It doesn't have to be massive. It just has to be a little bit every now and then, and influence others. Make small choices. Don't get fast fashion. Don't get clothes that are made in sweatshops. Don't get mass-produced items. Get secondhand, reuse, upcycle, borrow from other people. We all have a responsibility. It's now or never. 2050 seems like a long way away, but it's not. We've got to reduce our carbon imprint. We've got to lower the amount of CO2 we're pumping into the world. We've got to get the, you know what I mean. We have a responsibility. As staff and students, we've got to work together. Make those everyday changes and keep up the good fight. Our planet deserves it. Thanks.